Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Passive Water Resource mod, which is being made by user GHZIBA, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is 15 different water storage items to help you store your excess water in your settlements for various reasons. And I absolutely love this mod, as one of my favorite things about the whole settlement mode is that you do have to balance your resources to make your settlers happy, but the problem I've always had with it is there's really no point in doing any excess resources. You really just want to have just enough to keep your people happy, and that's really it, unless you're trying to also support another nearby settlement. But what about how the real world works? Excess resources are important, as you can use them for a variety of things, such as saving them up for an emergency, using them for some other use, and just all sorts of other reasons why you might want excess resources. And that is where this mod really comes into play for Fallout 4, as what it allows you to do is store your excess water for use in either agriculture, emergency situations if, say, your pumps get destroyed by raiders, and even for just general settler happiness, because they have extra water, and who doesn't love having extra water? And that is why I really do truly love this mod, and thankfully it is pretty easy to use, as once you have it installed, you simply just need to go into the workshop mode, go over to resources, and then under the water tab, just past the different pumps, you will get the 15 different water storage items. Now, they come in basically 3 different categories. The first category here is rainwater collectors, and what these are going to do is actually collect water whenever it rains, and then you can either directly fill up dirty water bottles from these rainwater collectors, or wait for your settlers to actually turn it into purified water, which will then go into the workshop mode. And as you can see up at the top there in the description, this will generate 1 point of water when it does rain, and that is pretty darn cool. And now that is for this barrel. We also do have a larger rain collector here, which is just a big plastic container, and then an even larger concrete one, which will hold up to 8 water when it rains. And then once again, once it's done raining, between the usage by your community and just general evaporation, it will eventually drain. So this is purely for collecting rainwater, and I really like that. Now, this next one we have is kind of an odd thing. It's just a water cooler. It will generate 1 water per day, and it's there to be a water cooler. I honestly don't know why it's in this, because, well, it doesn't seem to fit with the other tanks, but you know what? Hey, maybe you want a water cooler to talk by. That's up to you, my friends, that's up to you. Now, the next we get into the water tanks, which are much larger than, of course, our rain collectors, and these work slightly differently. Now, we have a couple of different versions here. We have the above ground tanks, like this one, in 3 different sizes: a small providing 3 water, a medium providing 5 water, and then a large providing 7 water. And then we also have 2 different underground versions, which I really love these, because you actually do place them underground. There we go. 5 water per day for that particular one, and it is that big, hidden underground. Very cool indeed. And then this one, which holds 9 water, and bam, there we go. Also pretty large and cool, and I love it so much. And then finally we have this Institute storage, which provides 5 water as a resource, and what these water tanks will do is they are specifically used for emergency storage. When you have excess water, like right now, I have only 18 people in this settlement, but I'm producing 35 water. So at the moment, that excess basically just gets wasted. But with one of these storage tanks, what'll end up happening is, say, this one, it basically counts as effectively 9 citizens. Instead of that water going to people, that water is going into this container to be stored. And then, say, for instance, if raiders attacked and our water pumps down there got damaged, Well, we're not producing water anymore, so the citizens of your settlement would actually come to these to get your water, and every day they will drain by 1. So this one will count as 5 water resources, and after a day, after 24 hours, it'll only be 4 water resources, then 3, 2, 1, and then nothing. And that is why I love this, because it'll provide you a nice emergency buffer for if you do ignore a raid attempt, and you know that your citizens will still have access to water by the time you get there. And it's a pretty cool mechanic. I really do love how that works. So again, it stores your excess water, and if you suddenly can't produce normal water anymore, your citizens will use this up until it's gone at a loss rate of 1 per day. And that is wonderful. Now, the final couple of tanks that we have are full-on water freaking towers. And these things are huge. We have this really cool one here, which I think is actually my favorite just because of the aesthetic. And then we have a full-on ginormous water tower. Well, let's actually go back to this one and talk about them in depth. Now, these water towers, what they do is not only do the same as the water tanks of providing additional excess water resources, but these will also give you some form of a bonus for having excess water. So this one will generate 15 water points and store 15 water points, but it will also improve crops, giving a watering bonus of up to 3 food. So this will help you grow more crops more quickly, providing more food to your settlement, and that is a very, very good thing. And so in fact, I actually, if we close out of this, I put one of these earlier over here, over by my farm area, because it just fits in quite nicely around all of my different crops, and you can still go up to this thing if it has water in it to fill up your water bottles like you would any other water pump. So that's quite cool. Plus it's storing water and giving a bonus to the water around it, which is awesome. And if we go back over here and back into the workshop mode, hold on a moment while it opens. It'd help if I press the right button. There we go. Now the next water tank we have is this ginormous thing, which actually requires electricity to function, and this one will store 20 freaking water. Actually also functions as a lookout. You can go through that door right ahead of me and pop up at the top of this thing, and will produce 3 additional happiness for your settlement. Because again, it's providing a huge amount of extra water for your people, so they're going to be happy about that. The next one we have is a ginormous one, 25 water. Look at this thing. Let's actually build it over here. There we go, 25 water on this baby, and it will also, like with the smaller wooden one, help with food. And in fact, this one will help 5 food resources, which is quite cool. And again, just a ginormous freaking thing. Now let's actually scrap this and take a look at the biggest and final container, the Water Tower Farm. Now this gigantic monstrosity will hold 50 water and increase comfort and happiness of your people by up to 7 points. And look at that thing. It's just awesome. And of course, again, will hold up to 50 emergency resources of water for your people, and that is pretty cool. Now, of course, I've already gone over here and built a couple of other things to show them off, like, say, the water tower here, which we can go into. I'm actually not in workshop mode. There we go. Go upstairs so we can actually go to the top of this thing, which is a very useful and convenient little lookout. I quite enjoy it once it eventually loads. It's taking a bit longer than normal here. And there we go. We can now look out to the massive thing over there. Oh my god, that's a lot of water right there. That is a lot of freaking water. Good times indeed. And yeah, it's just a very cool thing. We can then go back down the water tower to then go and see the other tanks that I have laid out here for you to get an idea of them. And again, all the different tanks will do their different purposes. These large ones providing you with bonuses, these ones just helping you provide additional resources and emergency stockpiles of water, and then these I actually really love these and would love to experiment with them in survival mode because they are for the specific purpose of rain collection. And let's actually turn on the rain here real quick. That should turn on the rain. Perfect. There we go. And these will actually start to fill up. Now you'll notice right now they are bone dry here in these different rain collectors. And if we're actually in the workshop mode, there we go, you'll notice that it's not showing anything under the rain collector name because at the moment it's not actually producing any water because it needs rain within it. But eventually as time goes on, oh, actually it has filled up a little bit of water at the bottom of this one. We have a tiny amount of water, but this is only one water, so it's going to wait until it's entirely filled up to the top of the barrel to be one water. This one hasn't gotten any water in it yet. This one also not any water in it yet, but eventually they will start filling up as well, slowly over time. In total, oh, there we go. That one did just get a little tiny bit of rainwater in it, and in total it'll take probably about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 in-game hours to fill these. Well, at least these two. I did not have the patience to wait for this one to fill up because it is a very large... Oh, there it goes. It just got a small little amount of rainwater in the bottom. There we are. So this is animated, so it will fill over time, which is quite cool. And if we actually get out of here, see, we can fill our water bottles from these containers already right now, or like I said, you can wait and your settlers will drain out this water and turn it into good old-fashioned purified water down the road. And that is just a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. Now, I should mention one final thing before we leave, and that is how the stuff will actually work. Now, of course, as I said, you need excess water. For the passive resources to work, you basically need 3 things. Your settlement's active water resources, your pumps, purifiers, etc., must be functioning properly. And then also after that, the amount of water points generated are equal to or greater than the settlement population. So right now, as I said, I've got 18 people and 35 water, so that is perfect. But even if we only had 18 water, these different water tanks would start filling up over time. Ooh, and actually this is a good way to show it right now. I've built these probably about a day ago, maybe a little bit less, and it's only 2 resources at the moment. And it should hold up to, hold on, let's get to its proper size. This one should hold, oh no, actually it's this larger one here, isn't it? That matches, right? No, it was the second one. This one should hold 5 water, but for right now, because it's slowly filling up, it's only holding 2 if we go back into workshop mode. Go back into workshop mode. Again, it'd help if I click the right button. There we are. Yes, it's only producing right now 2 because it has to fill up over time. Now, the more water you have excess, the quicker these will all fill up. And that's just basically how that goes. And the final thing is that the amount of water surplus is equal to or greater than the amount of settlement water passive resources. So basically, if you just have a crap load of these passive water resources everywhere, it's just not going to work very efficiently. You don't want to be having, well, frankly, like I've done here of building crap loads of these things. You'd want 1 or 2 of these passive items so that it will fill up quite nicely over time. And it's overall a very good resource to have, and I really do love it. And again, I'm thinking I'm going to have to experiment with these rain collectors in like survival mode. There's the word I'm going for, especially in Safe Frost where you need like water schematics and things to build proper pumps. These might be a fun, cool alternative for finding additional water resources. I do like them, and again, they do have to fill up over time with rain, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But that is gonna be, actually, let's turn off this so we can actually see them filled up properly. There we go, back into the normal daylight. So that filled about up maybe 70% of the way or so, almost to a full point of water. This one about halfway, so it's probably only got 1 point of water, and we can sploosh in it. Haha, there we go. And then this one barely filled up any, so maybe a point of water in there. But very, very cool, very, very fun to have, and a great way to actually make use of your excess water resources. So if you'd like to check this out for yourself, and I definitely say to go and do that, you can take a look at the link in the description as always. And yeah, definitely go play around with this, have fun, enjoy the benefits of excess water, especially if, say, you can build one of these lovely little things in your farm. I mean, come on, it just fits. It feels like it should be in a farm, and it's giving a bonus to farming, and that's a good thing. But that's going to be it for today, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.